Hey guys, so Apple has officially released iOS 17.4 to everyone. So as of right now, you can go into settings, head on over into general, head on over into software updates, and iOS 17.4, the official final version, should be available for you to download onto your device. So in this video, of course, I'm going to show you the first things you should do or check out right after you update to iOS 17.4. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So the first thing you should definitely look into is new emojis. There's over 100 new emojis available with iOS 17.4 if you include all the brand new accessibility emojis and different skin tones. But some of my favorites include the head shaking emojis, as you can see right here. These are brand new. We also have the mushroom and broken chain emojis available. And one of my favorites is the new Phoenix emoji. So when you update to 17.4, you'll now have these new emojis which you can use on your iPhone right away, as you can see right there. So that's Unicode 15.1, which is now available with this new software update. And now aside from that, there's also some updates happening to battery health if you have iPhone 15 or 15 Pro. So if we go into the battery section, the battery health and charging optimizations options have been broken down into two separate categories. If we jump into battery health itself, we now have a new battery status, so you can check here the status of your battery. Mine is at normal. You have the maximum capacity, you have the cycle count, which has been relocated from the about section, you have the manufacture date and the first use date as well, which has been relocated here into battery health section as well. So those two things you definitely want to check out right after you update to iOS 17.4. Now something else you may want to do right after you update is check out the new City Digital Clock. Now this one I have on my home screen right here, and this new widget is available under the widget extension for your clock application here. So let's go into the widgets drawer here and let's search for the clocks app. Right there it is, the extension for the widget. If we scroll over to the right, you'll now find the new City Digital widget. And the cool thing about this one is that it changes color depending on time of day. So it goes from dark to light. Let me show you what that looks like right there on the home screen. If I go into settings here and change the time manually, you'll see that this will change colors. So let's go here and change the time manually. So if we select, let's say, a PM time here, so let's go ahead and say, I don't know, 4 in the afternoon, it will change to a lighter because of course the sun is out. So if we go back and set it to in the morning, so what it is right now, 9 a.m., you see that it goes into a light mode. And now you can also go into the widget and edit the widget and find a city of your choice. Now not every city is available, but for example, if you live in the US in the East Coast, you can just use New York as your time zone, just like so. Right there it is, New York City, which is the one that I have pre-selected, and it will give you the correct time. So just keep that in mind. Not every city is available. And this widget is also available for standby. So if you use standby, you can also use the new City Digital Clock for standby mode as well. Now, another great option added to iOS 17.4 is some new updates to the stolen device protection. So let's head on over into settings here. Let's go into Face ID and passcodes, and let me show you what that looks like. So Face ID and passcodes, and right here you'll find the stolen device protection, which you can now click into. It has a little sub menu. Right there it is. You have the toggle, and now you have two options to choose from. So you can now choose when the security delay will be requested. So you now have two options to choose from. So definitely check out the new updates to stolen device protection as well with iOS 17.4. Now there's also some nice updates happening to podcast and Apple Music. Podcast now has transcripts. So if you're listening to a podcast using the Apple Podcast app and you click on the bottom left corner here, you now get a live transcript of the actual podcast, very similar to Apple Music Lyrics, which is a welcome addition. Now, speaking of Apple Music, there's also two updates there. So we have monthly replays. Every month, you'll see a monthly replay where you can go back and revisit those songs. And the Listen Now is now home. So if we go into the music application, we now have the home button instead of the Listen Now, which has been changed. So yeah, those two updates have been happening for the podcast and the Apple Music application with 17.4. Now, there's a few things I usually recommend you do right after you update as well. So these are going to be optional. Number one, you may want to check for carrier updates. Now, most of the time, your iPhone will update its carrier settings automatically, but if you go into general, go into the about section after you update, and you see a pop-up on the center of your screen. Now, not everyone will see this. Then you should update your carrier settings, of course, for better network compatibility and performance, of course. Now, one thing I also recommend is checking out app updates. Now, if you have automatic app updates enabled, I still recommend you do this because I have automatic updates enabled, but you can see there that I have a bunch of app updates available waiting for me after updating to 17.4. So all you have to do is go into the App Store, go into your avatar here on the top, swipe down here to refresh, and you'll see all the app updates available for you. Again, even if you have the automatic app updates feature enabled, you should definitely do this for your apps to be better compatible with the latest 17.4. So there you guys have it. iOS 17.4 now available worldwide. You can download it right now for your device. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.